And we are live.
It's Ultra Podcast Ice Chest Z. What is going on at the
Naruto.
bottom down there? What does that say? I can't read the
Follower
bottom
goal
left.
and subscription goal.
Oh, anyway. Yeah, Naruto's not with us,
Anyway.
but we'll get to that in a second. I was talking about the ice chest. It's funny because this may sound disgusting, but I got this ice chest a few months ago. I upgraded it from a different ice chest I used to have, and it was actually a collapsible one. And this is like a solid one. And I always put ice in it, then I dump it out, as it gets empty or whatever. I put new ice in it. It never dawned on me that I should clean it.
Oh, gross.
Because I'm just like, it's water. It's like washing itself out, right? So it would always be damp, and I just put more ice in it. Like, mind you, I just put ice bags. Not like ice is ever just touching the bottom. But TLDR, last week sometime before Drink Talk, actually it wasn't before Drink Talk Line, before Friday, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna clean it, because the only reason I was gonna clean it too, by the way, was because I had dropped things into it on accident, like crumbs, because like I was eating, I had food on top of it. Then when I opened it, long story, but crumbs got in there, so I cleaned it. That thing was disgusting. When I lifted the towel up, I was like,
was it smelly and all that shit?
It was smelly. First of all, it was red for some reason, which I don't know why. But the inside is red.
Man, you put organs in there. This fool's lying.
Yeah,
this guy's harvesting like little children.
There was like ink in there from the bags or whatever. That's not exactly what it was. Like ink from the bags leaking. But like I rubbed it. Yeah. It was like dirty. It was red and it stunk. And then I was like, I've been drinking out of this for like months.
Man, you've just been getting the ice.
I got like algae. I got algae in my stomach or something. It's fine. Yeah, and I don't know how.
What does it kill you?
Because like I have a collapsible ice chest that I bring to cons, which is actually kind of disgusting on the outside, but I do clean the inside a lot, because in that one it's collapsible, so you can see inside of it a lot easier. Why is there hair on my mic? And so when I noticed that when the water dries, it's just kind of like grimy, so I'm like, ew, and I go outside and I'll rinse it and I'll like scrub it. Why that never dawned on me to do it to this thing, I'll never know. But yeah, I had like I probably had like a million bacteria growing at the bottom that I was just drinking out of. And yeah, I forgot.
Like, it'd be like that.
The worst part is, I don't do this often. I really don't. But sometimes especially when I'm drunk, and I want water, I'll just scoop water out of there and drink it.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, then I'm definitely drinking algae. Like the first part, I'm probably just the ice. I give myself the benefit of the doubt that it was from the bag, so maybe I never touched the algae that was the cultures that were growing on the bottom of the ice chest. But no, when I was drinking water, I would just scoop it and like, ooh, look at this water! Look how tasty and refreshing and full of enzymes and creatures it is. I'm drinking the wonderful sea monkeys, guys. Hi guys, I'm Manuel, the internet's favorite sea monkey, and this is Ultra Podcast Monkey Z.
Back by unpopular demand.
Yes, back by the most unpopular demand of the earth. So this is where my BF is. Yes. Testing. Thank you. Oh wait, that's Mr. Talk. Thank you for the bit.
Oh,
did it work? I actually didn't see it.
Yeah, I set up the new alert and it went, but another one went up too, so I don't know what happened.
Have you not seen Bar Rescue when they don't clean shit? See, that's the funny thing. Now, Weston knows that I've been watching a lot of Bar Rescue lately, which, by the way, I am kind of like fuck this now, because that John Taffer went on to like some Fox News show and said some bullshit about workers and whatever. But before that, I was watching a lot of Bar Rescue, and there were all these shows where they're like, oh, we never cleaned the ice machine, and they go back there and there's like all this mold, on the ice machine. And my dumbass watches this like, yeah, that's disgusting. Stupid water. Drinking my algae from my fucking algae chest and everything. So yeah, I'm just a dumbass. I'm the internet's favorite dumbass.
No, there are definitely a few more that they probably love more than you. Sorry.
That is, I mean, pretty sure John Taffer's on that list too right now. But yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, the thing he said was he compared workers to like starving dogs, something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
Yeah. I'm not making that
Oh,
up. He said something like, "Oh, you got to get the dogs hungry enough." Like it's like when we have a dog or whatever. When training a dog, you starve him and then he works. Something like that.
Something
He
like that.
compared workers to starving dogs. Go look it up. I don't want to totally misquote the guy, but I'm really not. It was not. I saw the clip and I read it, then I saw the clip. And I'm like, oh, he said that. He apologized for it, but I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch your algae show anymore. And I'm in love with the word algae. In case you don't know,
is LG or algae?
algae, ALG, ALGAE.
It's time to show this man.
I remember there was this episode of King of the Hill where where they had like hidden Boomhauer's car in like this reserve, this like water reserve or something like that, and they were gonna drain it. And the whole point of that episode was Hank and everyone else was trying to get them to not drain it so they don't find the car, and that they explain to Boomhauer what happened to his car 20 years ago. So they go on this whole like campaign to save the itchy algae. Anyways, I'm just in love with the word algae. I don't know why, and I have not seen an episode in years, and that lives rent free in my head. Warren, introduce yourself. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Huh?
No, I'm just reading.
Ali G. What's up, guys? I am Warren, aka Frederick Badman, aka that dude, but not that dude. And to me, name's McGee. I'm supposed to be streaming 2 days a week on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ Mr_Badman, but I'm here because I'm a homie.
I touched
And I
my
also do
camera
DTL
cord
when
and it died. Hold on, keep going.
oh, manual's all frozen. But yeah, I'm also doing some A to J stuff too. Okay, I and yes, Leslie, I love you too. With
No, he
lots of
doesn't.
hearts. With lots of hearts. Manuel doesn't love me. This is why he has me here. He's just like, nah.
My camera froze. Hold on. I don't love you, Warren. I just love that doggy style.
Yo, I was about to say that.
Hold on,
All
guys.
right,
I need to
Snoop
fix
Dogg.
my camera. I need to fix
But
my
man.
camera. I don't know if the
Hello,
camera's dying or
JD.
the cord's dying. Leave it like that. Frozen manual is best manual. It looks like I'm like mid argument, like I'm pointing at someone. Like, you know what grinds my gears about itchy algae is that it's itchy.
Thanks. This guy over here stating the obvious.
Yeah, Nyaru took this week off because apparently she ate a bacon wrapped hot dog and died. And yeah, that's the.
You must suck the suck.
Yeah, she's experiencing the revenge. Oh my god, let me unplug the camera, plug it back in. It's like it's not working, and I'm like, is it that? Oh, there. Oh my god.
UPC is canceled, guys. Everything's done. Manual cannot do it no more.
No, as soon as I unplugged it, the camera worked. So when I unplugged it, it stopped. Hold on.
Feels bad, yo.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. UPC is canceled. Go play Psychonauts 2. No, true boomer moment. Leave it like that. Anyways. Today we're talking about some underrated anime. I mean, overrated anime, not underrated anime. That's too.
Let's go underrated anime.
That's too good of a topic. We're talking about some overrated anime. And speaking of overrated things, there's a lot of video games I think are mad overrated. And one of them is the original Psychonauts.
I know Final Fantasy 6.
Oh fuck you! I love Final Fantasy 6. No, one of them is Final Fantasy 9. By the way, I think Final Fantasy 9 is the most.
No, Final Fantasy 9 is tight. Get out of here.
And it's funny because that's the one. Oh my god! Hold on, I need to move the camera to another. Why is it sticky? Why did the camera get sticky?
Manual,
is
TMI for this show. Save it for next Friday.
Oh wait, I think I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 9 is terrible.
Sorry, shut the fuck up. That shit is tight.
But Nyaru was supposed to be on tonight, but she got sick by a hot dog, and now she's skipping 2 weeks in a row. We were gonna start this show by comparing our food list to hers, and we're not gonna do that after all because I was gonna do it without her. I'm like, what's the fun? But I will say this: we missed Wiener Schnitzel on both lists, and I mean the list we did last week, and the original one I did with Nyaru and fucking Jordan. So yeah, we skipped Wiener Schnitzel both times. Rest in peace.
So wait,
Wiener
if we skip
Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzels, what happens? Are we blaming JD? Are we blaming you, JD?
To be
Sure.
fair, I think Wiener Schnitzel is something of a local chain.
No, is it?
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
so,
so. I think it's
yo.
a West Coast thing. It's like when I thought Norms used to be like, for those who don't know what Norms is a diner, like, type, like I think of Denny's. Um, I used to think Norms were nationwide, but not only are those California only, I think they're only Southern California. So
Well,
like, I think Wiener Schnitzel only West Coast.
actually,
Actually, let me Google
Oh,
that real
that's why.
fast.
I'm from Southern
Let's see
California,
if Manuel's right.
and I had only seen commercials for Norms for like 8 years before I actually saw one.
I love Norms. There's a bunch of Norms by me. But I like live in the Norms like capital of the world, which is, hold on. Wait, I'm just gonna go look on Wikipedia. Hold on. The website just wants you to put in a zip code. Um, Apparently the first one's in Wilmington, California. That's a really tight. It's like over here, South Bay. Um, there's West Coast, Arizona. There's some in Illinois, and I guess Louisiana is east. But yeah, and there's some in Guam and Panama. Well, there's one in Panama. But yeah, it's
What?
only West Coast.
There's one in Panama. That's so fucking random.
Yeah, it's Panama's. Panama's not a territory, right? Panama's its own country.
It's its own country.
Yeah, it's
Maybe there's
Republic
just
of
some
Panama.
like tourist from Panama who was really rich and really liked
Exactly.
Wiener Schnitzel.
That's so weird. Because Guam is obviously, but Panama isn't. Yeah, it's the only nationwide. It's the only worldwide Wiener Schnitzel that exists. How many are there's 358. 358? 358. Yes. Anyways, they're mostly in California and Texas. So I guess Yara would have known about them. I love Wiener Schnitzel, by the way. They have really good hot dogs. My favorite is the pretzel bun dog. I would have ranked them. I probably would have been, depending on my mood, I would have been S or A tier.
Yo, every
Oh,
time
yeah.
I see their shit, it looked pretty good though. Like dead
You've
ass.
never had it?
Mm-mm. For some reason, I always thought
But
Wiener Schnitzel was like low tier, but I
I'm not
can't
gonna
say it's
lie,
low tier if
it
I've never
mildly
eaten
is.
there. Okay,
It
or I'm
mildly
not
is
gonna say things low
mainly
tier if I haven't.
mainly because like they're no, like we talked about coupons on the show a lot. Um, their coupons are, well, they're not as good anymore, but they used to be stupid before. First of all, they would let you get like 3 or 5 orders with one coupon. Like it was even written on the coupon. And it would be like a hot dog and a fries for like 89 cents. I remember that was like a coupon I used to have for years when I was a kid. And like me and my poor friends would go there and get, like, yes, we would like 5 hot dogs and fries, and it cost us like $5, and we'd like probably get sick off of it. But yes, it was still great. Good times, good times. We loved having those wieners in our mouths. It was a gay old time. It was. Push to next week's show.
Hey.
Final Fantasy 9 is not the best game. Anyways.
Okay, 9 is not the best game, but 9 is tight. Okay.
What's After School Dice Club?
An anime that's underrated, in my opinion.
Ugh, that sounds terrible. I'm just kidding. I don't even know.
It was a play D&D,
Anyways,
dog. That sounds like a D&D
anyways,
type of show.
I want to
Alright,
get some
continue,
quick news
Manuel.
out the way. One quick news point I wanted to bring up before we actually got jumped to the main topic, mainly because I forgot about it on UPZ, and I'm not going to take a shot to it now because I just don't feel like drinking at the moment. Nobody redeemed that. It's because I wanted to mention that Sonny Chiba died of COVID. Isn't that wild?
What?
Yeah, Sonny Chiba died last week because of COVID, like on the 19th. And I wanted to mention it on UPZ and take a shot to him and everything like that. Now, if no one knows who Sonny Chiba is, he's a very famous actor, like martial arts movies, but everyone knows him, like, in pop culture because he was in Kill Bill. He
I
played
cannot believe.
the guy with the sword, right? He was a Tori Hanzo or whatever, or was he? That was him, right? JD.
Sonny
I'll look it up.
Chiba in Go.
He was in it, and he I mean, like, no, wait, who redeemed Take a Shot? Energy plays. It wasn't me. Remember that song? It wasn't me. But no, he passed away, and I thought that was really crazy that nobody was really talking about it. I'm like, it's Sonny Chiba. He's fucking like. Hold on, I'm looking at what he was in Kill Bill. Let's see.
Oh, he's Hanzo. Hattori
Yeah, so he was. I
Hanzo.
was right. He was
Yeah,
Tori
he's
Hanzo,
Hanzo. Yeah.
who's named after a somewhat famous samurai from
Samurai.
Samurai. Yeah, anyways, if you're a fan of martial arts movies, you probably would have seen it before. But obviously, what's his face is Quentin Tarantino, and put him in Kill Bill, and I think he's been in a lot of movies since then, like mainstream ones. I'm trying to look it up real fast, but uh, he's in so many movies. It's taking me so long to scroll down. Okay, here goes. Okay, a lot of these are still more martial arts movies. Okay, I'm not gonna keep looking at this. TLDR, I want to take a shot to him, but I did it. Oh, he was the sushi chef in Sushi Girl. Sushi Girl
Wait,
is
what
that
the
one
fuck's
movie.
Sushi Girl?
It's this movie where these mob people, these I don't know if they're mob people, these villainous people. Mark Hamill's in it, Tony Todd's in it, and the
What?
Atreyu, Noah Hathaway, he's in it too. Is in Atreyu from Neverending Story, like a grown up Atreyu. They're eating sushi off this girl, and spoiler alert. And I say spoiler alert because it's very obvious. It's not even that big of a spoiler. It turns out she's the assassin. I mean, she's naked, but the assassin has been sitting at the table the whole time. Who would have thought? It's actually it's a pretty funny movie. I mean, it's a pretty fun movie. They were promoting it at Kamikaze, and I got it signed by everyone, and I think it was hilarious because Mark Hamill's there, Tony Todd is there, Noah Hathaway's there, and nobody's at this booth. I was able to walk up, buy the DVD, and get it signed by all those three. Mark Hamill, fucking Luke Skywalker, and nobody's at this booth. Nobody cares.
America's the weebs. They don't care.
Yeah, Mark Hamill even did a panel at that one, not about Sushi Girl. Did a panel at that Kamikaze, which is now called LA Comic Con, by the way. But he did a panel at Kamikaze, and it was in a tiny room, like one of the press rooms that AX uses, that probably most AX attendees have never seen before, because it's above the exhibit hall. So those rooms are tiny to begin with, and it was a third full. There was 30 people there, and it just blew my mind. It just blew my mind because I've seen things where he's there, and I know for a fact, because people I know some con runners who've talked about getting Mark Hamill before. He charges a lot to show up. And some cons he'll have lines he'll be a draw, and I'm like, nobody was there. Nobody cared about Mark Hamill. Anyways, rest in peace, Mark Hamill. He's still alive. I'm sorry.
I was like,
yeah, we're not going to break that news today because very much still alive.
Take a shot. Well, Luke Skywalker isn't. I think that ending was kind of stupid, but let's not get into how bad the new Star Wars movies are.
Oh man, fuck that movie. Fuck all of them except the other one. The first one that they came out with, I was with. But the next two, it's fucking lame.
The Star Wars movies are hilarious because they're the opposite of most people's experiences with them. I liked them when I watched them, and then I hated them as I kept rewatching them. I'm like, oh, these are actually bad. when you're not watching it in a theater setting, especially the third one, when you're not watching it in a theater setting and you're actually analyzing it as a movie, it's like, oh, this is a really bad script that they filmed.
No, Manuel. How? The one where they had that slow that slow chase scene forever in fucking space.
No, the second one I was always iffy about.
I hated the shit. I was so mad. Literally, I sat there and was like, I give it a 6, and then like a 7 or some shit. And then my cousin talked about it more, and I was like, you know what? I've reanalyzed this. This shit's a fucking 5.
That bothers me about the movies, and I'll wrap this up because Janie's probably be like, what are we talking about now? The part that bothers me about the movies isn't even so much the movies themselves are bad. It's that all the good content that Star Wars is putting out, The Mandalorian and so on, all that takes place before this. So what the fuck does The Mandalorian matter? It's all this New Republic bullshit's pointless. We know what happens. They all die. I think they blew up Coruscant in one of in that movie. So yeah, the Star Killer base, and that was one of the planets they blew up, was Coruscant. And for weebs who don't know, for nerds who don't know, Coruscant is the capital planet of the New Republic. So yeah, also the Empire, I think. But yes. Anyways. They're all dead. That's what I'm getting at. So go watch The Mandalorian. Who cares?
Yes, how dare we
And
get invested in
Huh?
characters even if we know they're going to have a tragic fate?
but you know, like even though you might know that they're gonna die, it's like yeah, it's like it's
It
weird
just
that
sucks
they
that he
made
dies
them.
like a goddamn dog, though. He just got blown. It's just like no last stand. Just-
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought there was gonna be more to the Han Solo death than there was. In case you don't know, spoiler alert: he dies in the end of the first of the new trilogy. And no, there was no double meaning. Everybody was all like, no. It's going to turn out that Han turned the lightsaber on because he knew Snoke would kill Kylo, so he killed himself. And that would have been a deep thing. But no, that didn't happen. Kylo just killed him. So, and I always thought that's funny.
People are
because,
thinking
like,
that deep.
Yeah, no, it's funny because you think the character Kylo Ren would be that deep, but no, he isn't. He's just a psychopath, and it's funny. First of all, it's funny because I said I hate that word, and here I am using it. But it's funny because like at the end they try to redeem Kylo, and then he dies. He dies too, by the way. And him and Rey have like a weird kiss. But
I know that was like, oh,
but it's hilarious because it's like it's kind of like when Darth Vader died. It's like you can't redeem him anymore because it's all like. It turns out he was just a murderer. By the way,
yeah.
Okay, Manuel.
sorry. No,
Yes,
this
we've
is my
been on
last
this for-
one. This is my last one. Did you know that canonically in the Star Wars universe, Leia, actually this might be retcon now, but Leia
It is
doesn't-
retcon. Everything's
never,
retcon.
but Leia never forgave Darth Vader because she wasn't there when he
Oh.
had his redemption moment. Like if you ever read
Wouldn't-
some of
wouldn't-
the extra work like Dark Empire and so on, she always still hates Darth Vader because he destroyed her planet. He destroyed her home, Alderaan. So it's funny. Only Luke ever sees the redemption of Darth Vader,
Hey, if you're
not the
talking
world.
about anything,
Not
talking about like EU, like I mean, EU stuff is fucking dead now. So
it is. I'm sad. I threw away a lot of my EU books in storage. I mean, I would have did that anyway. That's not like too much crazy shit. But yeah, I was all like, when I was throwing it away in my head, I'm like, this is what fucking Disney's doing to it anyway.
oh, you throw all your EU stuff, you son of a bitch. Why?
Well, it's books. I've been meaning to throw away a lot of books because I'm like, books are so.
I forgot
Books,
Manuel doesn't
booking.
read. Who reads?
When I was younger, I used to think that the move to digital, especially for books, was the stupidest thing ever. But now that I'm older, except for reference text, which include RPG books, by the way, except for reference text, I don't see the point of a printed book anymore. It's like just fucking read it digitally. It's so much less space. So yeah, I try not to maintain any library anymore unless it's something I can't find digitally. Like I have a lot of my Fear Street books still, which I still haven't seen. Anyway, what
A lot
time
of people
is it?
die.
6:30.
Yeah, I wasted a lot of time talking about nothing, didn't we?
Yes.
No, we didn't. We did talk about stuff. We talked about Star Wars. That's not anime, but you know.
Well, it's
Star
Gigan
Wars.
anime,
Star
so
Wars has a new anime, and Star Wars also has a manga that I remember I used to always see at not B Dalton. Well, B Dalton, that's a blast from the past. Barnes and Noble is the one I was trying to say actually though.
That's a blast in the past too.
In your butt.
Let's go. Mud
Okay,
butt.
let's talk about some. Oh wait, we'll come back to the fast news later. Talk about some overrated anime. So that's our main topic for tonight. We want to talk about overrated anime, and this mainly started because I wanted to
Yeah, how
rant
did
about
this start?
Evangelion, and it's funny because I think Ward and I are gonna rant about Evangelion from two completely different angles. I'm gonna rant about it as a very old school anime fan who literally got into anime.
Sorry, Manuel. It's anime.
Oh god, don't even get me started on that.
Anime, Manuel. Come on, it's anime. Okay,
Um,
continue.
It's funny because like it does bother the fuck out of me when I hear people say manga. That is my personal pet peeve. If you want me to scream at you and just fucking want to like rip your balls out, by the way, I don't care if you don't physically have the anatomy to rip balls out. I will rip something out of you ball shaped. So I will rip your balls
Ow.
out. If you want to piss me off that bad, then call it manga. Just do that. Just fucking do that. I dare you.
Wait, so
Okay.
does that trigger you more than technique?
Yes, Manga and SNES are two of my most annoying, like most like triggering phrases to use in front of me.
SNES, SNES, SNES,
This
SNES,
fucking
SNES.
guy.
I can't stand people who say SNES. Like okay, the one that bothers me
Why
about
don't you
SNES real
like it as
fast.
SNES?
The one that,
Okay,
for those who don't know,
continue.
SNES is Super Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES, or the Super Nintendo. No one ever called it, and I know they called it that in the UK the whole time, but nobody ever in the US that was alive when it was out ever called it SNES. And you might be like, just your friends didn't know. No, fuck you. Go watch any video that ever, like, any video of the time that ever mentioned the word out loud. They never say SNES until like somewhere on the internet age when like some YouTubers start saying it and everyone starts saying SNES. Also, fuck you people on the internet who don't know how to hold an N64 controller. You're not meant to hold like this and stretch. You're meant to only hold one of the grips. Two of the grips at each time, not all three. Stop being stupid.
What?
Anyway,
They're like this?
because the internet's always all
That's
like,
weird.
oh, can you like look at the N64 controller? How are you meant to hold it? And I'm like, who raised you? It's actually really simple. You either hold it like this or you hold it like this.
Hold
you
it like
hold
this.
Yes.
They're like this.
Yeah. No,
They're
there's
holding-
actually they'll hold each end and they'll try to reach in the middle. And I'm like, you're stupid. Any game that uses the analog stick doesn't use the D-pad. It's literally built into the system. Don't be stupid. Anyway.
I love this man. You're so
Fucking
angry.
This is my rant section. Don't worry, I'm in the mood now. So Evangelion came out in the late 90s in Japan, and I had the joy of experiencing it literally as it was coming out. Mind you, I was not a fan of anime at the time, but I used to always go to this comic store that like had all these like anime nerds in there all the time, and yeah, and I got to experience Evangelion there. And to everyone that I knew who did like anime, it was the be all end all. It was to TV anime what Akira.
Akira.
No, okay. Saying Akira is understandable. Saying whatever I just said was like mixing them both together. Like Akira or Akira, not Akira, or whatever I was saying. Like I was saying a weird mixture. Anyways, what Akira was to like TV anime, what Ghost in the Shell, TV anime to movies, and Ghost in the Shell was to movies. This is what this was the be all end all for TV anime, which you didn't see that much in the US. I talked about this before, because like whenever companies would release like tapes or any official releases, it was usually an OVA or a movie, because you'd have to sell like 12 tapes and nobody's really showing it on TV back then. So I got experience this like right from the get-go. When I was first buying DVDs on anime DVDs, the Evangelion set was one of my first ones I bought. Not the platinum one that came later, but was the original one. Which, by the way, JD, has everyone retconned that? Because the last episodes literally were not finished. That's why that elevator scene is there, and now people act like that was always intended.
I don't think so. I think it's
For those that don't know, very famously, and I'm sure the Wikipedia page mentions this, the last episodes were like rushed because like I guess they ran out of money.
Well, they had a whole bunch of fucking stills too.
Yes, exactly. And it wasn't until much later releases, and it's still unfinished, but it wasn't until later releases that they kind of fixed it. So I don't think anyone has ever seen the original in modern times. I mean, then again, why would you? You wouldn't seek that out. But I saw the original, and I always thought it was funny too, because this was the version that people were still saying was the best anime ever. And I just gotta say, when I saw it, and I finally got like sat down to watch it, I didn't think it was horrible. I thought the ending was bad, by the way. But then again, I think most anime endings never I think ever like seals the ending, hits the ending or whatever. They always fail for some reason. But it was whatever. It was all like, yeah, I don't feel like I wasted my time, but and I didn't like the movies either. And I don't mean the new movies. I mean help me out here.
Birth and End.
There you go. Which were, by the way,
that kind of retconned a little bit of stuff.
Yes, and those were the ones I think that were meant to like fix the bad ending that like they weren't allowed like to finish. Which I thought those movies are weird. I saw the second one, which is Rebirth, or is that the end? What was the second
End
one?
of Evangelion.
Resurrection. Yes, and I saw that one in theaters, by the way. And I fell asleep during that one. In case I talked about falling asleep in another movie at the start of this. I don't want to make it sound like I'm narcoleptic during movies. I'm really not. And like I can count on one hand the amount of times I've fallen asleep in a movie, and it's less than 5. And one of them was in seeing was the end of Evangelion.
End of it. Oh my.
Manga. Don't say manga, please. Anyways, Warren, what are your thoughts on the Evangelion franchise?
Okay. Hold up. I gotta put my controller down.
Oh, by the way, son of a bitch, you better not be playing DFO. He's playing DFO, guys.
I am not playing DFO. I'm just farming on DFO. That's different.
I have never really run into a franchise where most people don't like any of the main characters, and I don't mean the supporting main characters. I mean
fucking
Shinji.
froze.
I froze?
Okay, you're back.
Oh, I don't think I've ever encountered an anime series where no one likes the starring main cast, like the characters, but still love the show. Like everyone seems to hate the main characters. I guess nobody really hates Rei, but like, who the fuck likes Asuka? Who the fuck likes Shinji?
I like Shinji.
Yeah, Asuka's a fucking bitch.
I don't like
No one likes Asuka for the. You do?
No, I know someone who likes Asuka a lot.
Well, that's because they fucking suck.
And the last one made me not completely hate her, so I'm okay with that.
Well, to be fair, I try to watch all the movies again. I have already seen the first 2. Like I watched those when they came out. Because I was ranting to JD about it because like I think the new releases they redubbed them, and I'm like, those aren't old movies. Those came out like a few years ago. Like I saw
why they redub them.
Yes. It just blows my mind, like the whole thing about
makes
like
no sense.
Yeah, the whole thing that I say, well, how I can't stand dubs, not because of quality, but because of lack of consistency. I'm like, those movies, like A to J was around when I think the second one released, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like these are not old. This isn't an old like thing. Like, anyways,
I believe it's more a mandate from Studio Kara for that the redubs.
Did they hate the dubs?
They didn't, from what I've heard, they didn't like the dub of the third one because they heard people laughing in a dramatic scene, and basically Funimation had to dub it like 12 times to get their approval, like to release
12 times?
I'm probably hyperinflating it, but multiple times.
I was like it's more than 5 times.
Yeah, they had to go back and re-record it to give them something that they like. That's why it took so long to be released on Blu-ray in America.
A lot of anime dub acting.
That's so weird.
Is bad, and I don't want to. Okay, let me rephrase that. A lot of anime dub acting, I don't think is bad, but a lot of it is very.
It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the same.
Yes, because a lot of it feels like very much like. There's no nice way to say this. I'll just say it straight out. Like these are typically actors who weren't able to find a role in a Hollywood production. So like. And then
damn, why
they're gonna turn to voice acting. I'm gonna dig myself in this whole.
He's digging deep right now.
I'm not even done yet. And then they start going to voice acting, but they can't get a job at Disney. They can't get a job at Pixar. They can't get a job with like a big production company like that. They're gonna go get a job for Bang Zoom or like or one of the ones that recruits at anime conventions that are basically getting. The see, I don't want to use any bad terms here, but you know what I
mean. This guy, come on, just say what you mean, dog. I'm over here, this guy beating around the bush. He's like, I don't hold on, I don't know what you mean, dog. Come on, tell me.
I've already done this whole too far. I've already done this whole too far.
Yes, you have.
Shit. There's no point in me stopping now.
All right, you're 5 feet and a half deep.
Yeah,
okay?
basically, like literally, I'm not even exaggerating. Like I'm being real here. Like you could ask the actors. I'm pretty sure. Like, see, I don't want to name any names because I don't want to go with that.
Look, I like how Manuel's like stump.
I know some voice actors who I know did not want to end up voicing anime or video game roles. Japanese things. They wanted to be real actors. quote unquote real actors. They wanted to be real actors. They're just doing this to make it. And that's another thing. A lot of them have the mentality, and not all of them do, but a lot of them have the mentality that they're just doing this like for the time, like, you know, for the time
Make ends
being.
meet.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way they pay them too. That's another thing. They usually don't get paid very well.
Oh, they
To
get
me,
paid like shit? No,
yeah.
really?
So
I didn't
like,
know
I
that.
mean, like the money's okay,
They
but
get
they're
paid
not,
a little better.
you know, depending on how many roles you get, I'm sure it's livable and everything. And some people definitely do live on it. But mind you, a lot of people go into the production side of things, not the voice acting part of things. But still, like, you're gonna get a lot of student actors, a lot of actors who failed hundreds of auditions, and now they're voicing your dramatic character in your what in Japan was a big budget movie, and then here in the U.S. is getting the lowest comment, the scraping the bottom of the actor barrel, and then you wonder why people laugh when they can't deliver a dramatic line. And yeah, I just offended every voice actor friend I know. I'm sorry. I didn't.
We're
I'm
never
not-
going to have any of them on here, Manuel. Thank you. How are we ever going to get more viewers if we don't have one of them on here?
Hold up. I know. Just kidding. I'm not gonna say anything.
No.
No, Manuel. No.
Honestly, I don't mean anything bad by it. It's just it just is what it is. I'm sure half of them. I'm sure half of them would be willing to say, and they'll still probably hate me, but they'll be yes, but you know, and then it'll be a but while they yell at me. But they will say like, okay, yes, I like this job because of this, but, and then so on. So yeah, and then I don't want to point out, but. I literally was not singling anyone out who was like scouted at an anime convention, but most of my friends who are voice actors were the type that were scouted at anime conventions.
Yo, I was about to try that out. I was like, I don't know how to read.
That foot is like in my stomach right now. It is like it is way past my mouth. It is way down my esophagus.
It's in his anal cavity now. It's coming out of his booty.
I'm shitting it back out. It's gonna come back out the other end. I'll be walking on it again in a few minutes. Don't worry, guys. Anyways, Warren, take me away from this.
Samurai Mac. So what didn't I like? So
I'm not gonna lie, real fast. I thought you were hearing my music because I'm playing music low key, like very quietly in the background. But I was very distracted during my rant because as I was saying all this stuff about like the bad voice actors or whatever, Butterfly by Smile, you know, I little butterfly, whatever, you know, the cell phone song.
I think Butterfly by Crazy Town.
Oh no, you my butterfly, sugar baby.
Sugar baby.
No, they're both bad.
Samurai Mac,
but no.
Is Samurai Mac? That's our teleportation. That's our teleport.
Yes.
Spell, right?
Oh, it is. Why did we call it that?
I don't know. We didn't decide on it. I did. Because we were talking about Samurai Mac right before we ended, and when we ended, I went to go find our teleport thingy, and then I just called our teleport spell, and then I just called it Samurai Mac on the spot.
Before we get right back into ranting about Evangelion, and I promise we won't rant about the dubs anymore. And by the way,
this fucking guy.
In case you didn't know, my big argument for dubs is to keep them consistent. It's not even to stop them or to like, you know, or get better actors. I don't even, you know, what is a better actor anyway? It's mainly if you get so-and-so to play a character or so-and-so to dub a thing, keep it that way. They never redub anime in Japan. Like, what is this unheard of bullshit that they do here?
Well, they actually bring people back that are, I mean,
yes,
as long as they're alive.
I mentioned it for my Dirty Pair Flash thing for the DTL I did like 2-3 weeks ago, whatever that was. That the reason that there was a reboot was because they couldn't get the original voice actresses to come back. So they just they just started from scratch. In the US, they'd be all like, we're gonna go to Anime Expo and we're gonna like cast the first 2 people who don't make us laugh. You know? Sorry, I said I wouldn't say it again.
This guy over here, he's like, I'm not trying to kill myself. Hold up, but wait. Let me just
oh my God,
let me just die again. This is Manuel. He's like, hold up. I need to add something. I'm in my grave. I'm 6 feet deep. But hold up. Let me just dig down just a little deeper. Like, it just doesn't hurt.
Oh man.
Oh no,
JD,
Manuel, what are you doing?
Me.
Okay.
Nope, sorry. Right. You're drowning yourself on this one. I'm not throwing you a lifeline. Either talk about Evangelion or pick another classic anime you want to talk about.
Oh, Evangelion. What are your thoughts on Evangelion, Warren? Sorry.
Okay. All right. So my whole thing,
Overrated.
okay, like it's overrated. Yes, I thought, like I said, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I believe it's an okay anime. It's like I'd say it's a 7. I'll give it like a 7. Okay, off of just anime by itself. Okay, I'll give it that, because see, my thing is right. If I'm coming to watch something, right,
Mm-hmm.
and if I didn't know anything about Evangelion supposed to be this deep shit, I would have watched it and be like, what the fuck am I watching and why did I waste my time? Like I literally, like, if I didn't know, if I didn't have any knowledge of it before, I felt like I
Knowledge
wasted my
like
time.
that. Sorry, I don't know if you did.
Like
I don't know if that's the way you really pronounce knowledge. Sorry, but it sounds like that guy. Knowledge. You know what I'm talking about? Like the fucking that ad that became a meme. Anyway,
what?
does
Manuel, I'm just
anyone know what I'm talking
elongating it.
about? Does anyone
No.
know what I'm?
No.
How does no
Was
one?
this back in
Okay,
like 1905 or something?
no, it was a
On
meme
the
from
radio?
like a few
Hear
years
this on the
ago.
radio.
There was some dude
I'm
who
just
who was like advertising in every YouTube video. And he's like knowledge, and he had like, look at all these books I have. It was this whole meme. Anyways, my joke fell flat.
anyways.
Keep going. Just
No,
like the
I
voice
mean, like,
actors
if I
roles.
didn't have
Anyways,
any like
I
prior
mean
knowledge to
voice
like
actors
what the
acting.
actual series is about, because I wanted to watch it again. It's just Leslie. I think also Leslie's like, try to keep in mind this, and that, and I was like, okay, cool. But when I watched it and we got to the end on the first anime, okay, I'll give the original anime. I was like, what am I watching, and why would I give a fuck when I'm done watching this? Because it doesn't. It's supposed to, like, okay, I guess it's supposed to be deep, but when I sat, like, if I sat here and watched it, like, it's kind of boring. Not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking boring, um, and it's convoluted as fuck. All right, I'll give an example. Dark Souls, all right. The lore and the story is convoluted as fuck, but you know what draws me into into something like that? It's because I love the atmosphere and I actually enjoy the game. When it came to Evangelion, I was like, the atmosphere is kind of boring. Everyone's fucking sad, and it's like, and I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, okay, cool. I understand. They're trying to portray human emotion, but no one like a lot of people don't buck the fuck up. And when they buck the fuck up, they still act like a little bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and it got to the point to where I was just like, okay, I understand. Like, I was like, with Shinji, I don't like him, but it's like, okay, it's relatable. I understand. I was like, I can relate to this dude, 100%. But like towards the end of a fucking anime, you'd probably think that someone would have grabbed some sort of courage, but this dude's still a bitch. I was just like, damn, man, I'm sorry, the whole world is riding on your ass. All right, you're a young kid, I understand. But motherfucker, do you want to live or die? He's like, I don't know. Oh no. I'm just like, well, you know what, man? We might as well have just given you a gun and you could have shot your fucking self and let Oscar do some shit, because at least this bitch got some nuts.
That's.
I feel. You go ahead,
Go ahead.
Manuel.
Oh no,
No,
I'm gonna be really fast, and then JD can go. I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of one-note characters in this show that, like, for like being a be-all, end-all type show. Anyway, go ahead, JD.
Yeah, I feel like the last 2 episodes and probably the parts of that are parts of End of Evangelion that don't overlap chronologically with that probably are Shinji kind of gaining that will, like finally getting the healing that he's needed for the whole time. Like I said, when I think
it took so long.
Hey, it takes some people a long time to get through their problems. I know from firsthand experience.
99% of your like on-screen appearance though.
Hmm?
Yeah. Hey, he's gone through some terrible stuff.
Mind you, it's not the same at all, because like we're talking about evil versus just like being an idiot. But it kind of, I didn't know it was entire back in there. It kind of reminds me of the whole, like I mentioned, the Kylo and the Darth Vader thing. It's like you don't get character development just by turning a switch on in the last 5 minutes of your like on-screen existence.
Yeah, and that was that was like one of, like, the thing is, like, I was still happy, like the last movie, not spoilers alert, but I liked it. I was actually genuinely happy, because I was like, thanks, because everything else was just like, oh my god, I have to think a million times my fucking brain capacity to think what the fuck this shit meant. Because honestly, it fucking is not that deep. I was just like, people have problems. Okay, fine, and I'm cool with that. Like, it's a human condition, cool. But like, if I'm watching an anime, like if you want to convey a fucking story, tell it better, right? I understand if you want to have character development, if you want to world build, then world build. But they don't. There's not enough. Like, honestly, there's not enough episodes to world build. My biggest problem was when Kawaru came on and he was in one episode and I was like, oh, cool. And then all of a sudden he flipped the switch and everyone was like, he's my favorite character. I was like, there's nothing here. There's nothing for me to make me mad about, like, to like this guy. They're like, well, he makes Shinji feel special. For what? For one time and then he became a bad guy? Like, that's fucking stupid. I would have been like, that's like meeting one of your friends, like, oh yeah, you're cool. And all of a sudden they like fucking stole your wallet, like when you turned around and you found out and you're like, and they're like, hold up, but he made you feel special. I was like, but this motherfucker stole my wallet, and I'm about to fucking give this fool my fists, right? Like if they give more character development in that, I was like, wow, yeah, I would have felt betrayed, but I was like, this guy's only here for an episode. I don't give a fuck. I wanna, like, I hope they fuck this dude up. Like, I don't care how special he made Shinji feel. Shinji, you stop being a little bitch. But no, I understand. Healing does take a long time. I do understand that.
And I think the
like,
thing with Kawaru, even though he's only in that one episode, he's like one of the only people who shows Shinji any kind of like unconditional love, whether that you take that as a romantic or kind of like fatherly or some other, or filial. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. It's just still that big disappointment in, like, I had so much trust in you because you showed me so much, made me so happy, and that I mean I wish it had been stretched over more episodes, but they were already running out of budget.
Yes, and that's what I understand too. It was just one of the things when people are just like, to hear, like, especially when Lay's like, he's my favorite. And I sat there and like, he's only here for an episode. I don't understand. That's like saying, I'm gonna, he's like, hey, what's up, girl? I met you at a club. Bang, we're getting married tomorrow. I'm just like, what? What? This makes no fucking sense. What the fuck? Like, nothing. I was like, they're like, oh, well, but she was special to me. She's the only girl that talked to us. Like, yeah, and what? Like, you gonna marry this person? Like, straight up off the fucking bat? Like, come on, yo. Like, be real.
I actually feel like there are some people who do that, but like, in the
yes,
same way as Shinji, they're the kind who are just kind of mentally or like suffering from something, and this seems as like their only way out to them, and it's a problem, definitely. But especially
I totally understand. Like, I understand, like, it, like the human condition, what it's trying to portray. But I was like, but it isn't that deep. Like, for real, it isn't that deep. And I understand, like, it takes people a long time to heal. Cool. But when it comes to a story, holy fucking shit! If you're gonna tell us, it's like reading a book that's like 1,000 pages long, and the last 5 pages this fucking fool decided to pull out his nuts and thought that he's like, it's fucking check time. We're gonna fucking do it. And I was like, why? Like, why? Like, why am I gonna? I sat there mad the whole entire time, and I'm just like, you know, I was like. And you know, I'm not saying like I'm some macho dude. Yeah, I'm a bitch too. But fuck, man, when it's time to buck the fuck up, you got to buck the fuck up, man. Please, just like for anime's sake, because I want this story to fucking progress, but it just keeps on digressing. But everyone thinks, oh yeah, man, this is so deep because it's doing opposite of what anime is supposed. Like, shut the fuck up. It's told that. That's it. I don't give a fuck. If you're gonna portray a story in this medium, make it worth it. If you're gonna waste, like, it literally, to me, it felt like a waste of time, even though I said it's a 7. It's like, it's still a waste of time. It's a 7. Still watch it. It's a 7. It's a waste of time, especially that ending when I was like, why everyone's just juicing? Everyone turned into juice. It was fucking tight. It was stupid, but I understand.
Because I have this in my notes, and I remember when it really became big in the early 2000s. It was really big in the anime scene. Everyone just talked about fucking Evangelion over and over and over again. That's one time the Platinum Collection came out. And I think about the time the second movie came out, because that's the time I saw it in theaters. Or at least it came out here. I don't know when the fuck it came out in Japan. But I remember there was a lot of other shows that came out around that time. Like, I was looking. I remember there was a show called Rosafon, and I have it in my notes. because
Fuck, that's old.
yeah, that's a show nobody talks about anymore. But what's so funny is that came out around the same time. It was new. It's like early 2000s still. And when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh, it's an Eva clone. It's an Eva clone." And it's funny because I googled it. They don't mention Evangelion at all on the Wikipedia. But if you Google Rosafon and click on some really old links, like from like someone's like old like blog that's still up, they'll mention Eva. But anyways,
Rosafon.
and I like that show. First of all, I only remember very little from it, so don't. I will say this: if anything, I think it's more of a Macross clone because they have a lot of music bullshit. But I think that everyone called it an Eva clone because it's like mecha that aren't quite like traditional mecha. Not just like a robot someone built. Like what I'm trying to say. Well, it's still a robot someone built, but not like a blank machine. Like getting an airplane. But I heard everyone talk shit about it, and I'm like, even though I haven't seen Razafon in years, I liked it way more than I liked Evangelion. And the problem is, I don't think there's that much to compare to Evangelion. Are there any other shows you could think of that have a similar?
I wasn't even done. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. You weren't even done. Okay, never mind.
Hell no. Is that last? Okay, the movie before this last one. That's the one that pissed me off the most because Shinji woke up after destroying has some part of the world, and they're like, he wakes up, his ass wakes up, and he's just like, "What's wrong?" And no one wants to talk to him, and they're mad at him, and he's like, "What's wrong, guys? What's happening?" And this fool generally doesn't know what the fuck's going on in the world. Okay, and then all of a sudden he's like, "What happened?" They just lock his ass up, and I was like, "Wow, what a fucking dick move, right?" And then Ray would come over, and she comes over and saves his ass, and they're like, "Shinji, what are you doing?" I was like, "You gave this motherfucker no reason to stay. You fucking locked his ass up, didn't tell him what was going on. You guys cold-shouldered him. Of course he would fucking leave." I was like, who the fuck wrote this script? Because this is so... I didn't want to watch the last movie because the second movie was so... I was like, what is going to compel me to fucking watch this movie? And not only that, Kawaru's like, "Shinji, don't grab the spear." And Shinji's like, he's like, "Shinji, don't fucking grab the spear." She's like, "No, bro, I'm gonna get it." He's like, "Go, don't grab the spear, bro. You're gonna fuck." Bam, and then Kawaru dies. And I'm like, "You bitch, I fucking hate you."
Spoilers for the first three Eva movies, I guess.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's funny because I haven't seen that movie. I mentioned also the first two.
It's gonna make you mad. It made me mad because I was like, "Oh, this is starting off okay," and all of a sudden, I was like, Shinji leaves, and they're mad about him leaving, but they give him no reason to stay. And then Shinji's like, Kawaru's like, "Yo, bro, come on, don't grab it, bro. Bad shit's gonna happen." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna get it." He's like, "Don't, please." And it's one of those things. And I'm just sad. I was like, "This is fucking stupid. Why am I still watching this?" Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Sorry, I wanted to mention. Hold on. You're killing my jokes. Like, no, not you. I'll just say it out loud. I was putting that. I was trying to segue into Razafon, and then you corrected me to spelling segue, and I'm like, no. I meant segue because I tried to move it somewhere else, and I fell flat on my face.
Oh, my bad, yo.
No, I meant in the chat. I was trying to make a joke, and I couldn't type it out fast enough. Segue, for those who don't know, it's a visual. It's a visual pun that I made in the thing, but segue are those things that apparently everyone falls down on. And like I think the creator died using, and they're illegal now. But the hoverboards. Anyways.
But we can move on.
We'll move on. There's actually you brought up a point that I forgot to even bring up.
See that general chat, Manuel?
Yes, that's what actually made me think of the thing. Now, what bothers me about Evangelion is what bothers me about a lot of other anime that like I would consider overrated. We haven't even mentioned any others, but a lot of them fall into the same category. That it's the kind of thing that a certain type of person just likes to think is like that they're deep if they like, for lack of a better way to describe it. And it's not like it's like Rick and Morty, but anime. It's like that kind of shit, but like the unironic version. Because I think now it's all tongue in cheek. Like, yeah, we all have big IQs, but I think it's like they really think that like, yeah, I love Evangelion because there's actually hidden meaning. Did you know that Shinji actually represents the inner turmoil that we all, and so on, basically. And what's funny is that yes, of course, a lot of this is there, but even when you say it out loud, even when I was saying that out loud, a lot of it's just very surface level. It's very bad. It's very like
it's
the Shinji.
It's like, because when you think about it, it's like That's what all fucking any character in any story fucking ever like, and in the general scheme of things, that
And I think the problem with Shinji's development personally, like personally as in his personality, I mean to say, the problem with Shinji specifically, that's the better way to phrase that. I think the problem with Shinji specifically is that he gets so much screen time being like,
the main character.
what was that too? Being ineffectual, being like, and like, it's funny because like it always bothers me whenever especially back in the day. Like I think now Evangelion has become big enough that it's like, oh, it's kind of its own thing. But back when like the whole talk was still like, oh yeah, Evangelion's a imperfect masterpiece because like it wasn't quite finished. It's all like, why were you wasting so much time if you saw like the writing on the wall that you were probably gonna run out of budget soon? It's like, why were you still like, running Shinji in
Shinji.
circles?
Shinji.
Why were you still running his characterization in circles? It's like, oh my god, there's nothing deep about it. You're not deep if you like Evangelion. Stop.
Okay, Manuel?
Honestly, yes.
Sorry, I just want to correct something you said earlier. The inventor of the Segway, still alive.
Oh, well, I could have
Still
sworn
alive.
But it could have been an internet rumor, one of those things that you just read somewhere, like, he died. But no, it's actually hilarious because like I had a friend of mine who like dug theirs out. And first of all, if you go Google Segway like on YouTube or whatever, you'll find compilation people just falling over and like dying, but not dying literally, but
His face plating.
there was somebody who was doing a retrospective, like this YouTuber I watched was doing a retrospective on the Segway. And they filmed themselves like opening up a new old stock one, and they opened it up, they charged it, and they got on it. They're like, "Wait, so how does this go?" And they literally fell off of it, like and like hurt themselves really bad. And even a friend of mine who had one like kind of a few years back for the same thing. They're like, "Oh, remember when these were big?" And they found one somewhere like in like a storage unit or something like that, and they got on it and they fell. And I'm like, does anyone not fall on those?
I didn't.
I don't know. Those things look. It's fucking scary, yo.
Anyways, Dean came in. Inventor of Segway is still alive, apparently. Anyways, it's funny because like Evangelion, not only that, but I think because of like Evangelion's reputation, because of like it's also kind of old. Obviously, they're still. Then again, the movies are kind of more of a redo as opposed to like continuation, obviously. But but because it's
Right.
older, because it's like it has like an angsty protagonist, because it's like quote unquote deep, it attracts a lot of the kind of fans, and I don't mean just anime fans, a lot of like the type of fan in general that I don't really like the quote unquote deep fan as well, like the Pleiades, if you will.
Oh god, man, just stop it.
Oh, hearing please talk about it on
This guy
PTL
right
is
here,
just
a fucking slayer.
Well, Pleiades is actually mildly okay. Let's because he's still entertaining here and there, but like these are the same kind of people who watch the Joker, like the recent Joker,
yeah.
and like they model their personality off of that. They're like, oh, this movie speaks. It strikes me as the kind of person who look at Leslie probably loves the Joker too. Leslie over here watching the Joker, then watching the Evangelion, and she's all like, yes, I want to model my personality off one of these. So
okay, do you know the name of the movie is just Joker, right?
Yes, I know it's not. Oh, look at you! Look at you!
Actually,
it's just Joker, not the Joker.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
At some point, someone's gonna say that to me when the new Batman comes out, because I think it's called The Batman, not just Batman. Which, by the way, speaking of things that have been like stuck and starting on production wise, I actually thought that movie was canceled, and then I found out recently it wrapped principal photography, but apparently its principal photography lasted almost 3 years because of the pandemic. So I'm like, what's that gonna be like? Did they just like? Is it gonna be just like a weirdly aging the fuck's his name?
Robert Pattinson,
vampire guy? Yeah, it's gonna be an aging vampire.
He does. He's a vampire.
Well, I mean, he's in what his mid-30s now. You don't really age much noticeably. I think.
I just think it's funny that like that movie took so long to get out. So did Evangelion, by the way. Like I remember there was talk that it was gonna just end on a cliffhanger. I never saw the third movie, but there was a whole talk like, oh, it's just gonna like the next one's never gonna come out or whatever.
That's
But then again, it wasn't that long of a gap. I think that I looked it up on paper, but I remember people
7
saying
years,
that.
I think.
Yeah, but people were like, oh, it's gonna take because I guess the other ones did come out kind of into not rapid.
Yeah, it
You
took a
know,
while.
they were coming
It
out
took a while.
regularly, and then there was a gap. But
Yeah,
then again,
because
Evangelion, it was always gonna come out.
yeah, that
Or they could have just, or knowing them, they would have just restarted it. Who the fuck produces Evangelion? Like, what studio is this that we're
it
ranting
was
about?
originally Gainax, and then it moved to Kara for the rebuilds.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who Kara is.
It's
You
basically
mentioned
just
them
made
earlier?
to make the rebuild movies, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Who the fuck runs it? Like, is it someone famous
Hideki
behind
Anno.
these? Oh, it's his own studio. Okay. I wasn't sure he was still involved with these.
Yeah. And in that time, he was also doing Shin Godzilla. I think that's when he was doing voice acting for The Wind Rises too, because for some reason, Miyazaki decided to cast him as the lead role.
Is Anno. And Leslie knows everything about these. Apparently, I wish I could be an alien human hybrid with white hair that could make humanity into juice. into juice. I know what you mean, but it's just kind of funny describing it there. I haven't seen Joker movie because I don't see a reason to watch it. By the way, I mentioned this on a FAP episode. I think it's still there. I tried to look it up after the show was over, but I watched Joker. I watched Joker on like an adult site, an adult streaming site. But doesn't
He's
the
like
creator go into
Pornhub. He's
deeper
like, is this the right movie?
Yes. No, I really
Continue.
thought it was gonna turn to porn any second. No, it was just Joker, just uploaded.
Yes, to answer your question, Wesley, yes, Anno has dealt with his own depression across both development of both of them, and I think that's why another reason why 3.1 or 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time took so long is that he's into that, and like Shin Godzilla helped get him out of it.
It's fun. Godzilla. I actually like Shin Godzilla, by the way. I think, yeah, that was kind of playing one time I was in Japan, but I like Shin Godzilla, but apparently no one liked that, which I think is kind of. Let me rephrase that. Let me back up and let me back up again. Apparently, Godzilla fans didn't like that. Didn't like that one.
Oh, I see.
Which I used to be a huge Godzilla fan. I mentioned this. Actually, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. I used to be a huge Godzilla fan. Sadly, I threw away a lot of my Godzilla figures from storage, but those were not because I didn't want them. It was because I literally had those when I was really young, and they were just like all fucked up. So I was just like, "Oh, these are cute," but I'm not gonna fucking display a figure that I literally played with that's all scratched up.
But
and all
did you just like dump them?
Yeah, but I mean, like, cause they were in a box. So, like, I kept them when I was like in my 20s. But I'm like, they were from when I was a kid because I used to play with them. Like, yeah, let's beat each other up.
Manuel's like, just in case people try to salvage this, he breaks it even more, even
No,
though it's broken.
actually, no joke, no jokes to give everyone. I'll circle back around to Hideki Anno, don't worry. But to give everyone a fun little, like, fun story about my storage adventures is I was gonna throw all those away, and then my brother who was
Oh, you didn't?
it's my mom's storage, by the way, so I have childhood things in there. My brother who was there, he's all like, "Can I take these to some friend of his, not friend of his, because it's a little kid. Can I take this to like this little kid that goes to my church because he loves Godzilla, so he gave them all to some little kid. So those, so technically,
Okay.
I didn't throw them away. Now that
Man,
I
you're so
forgot about
broke
that
on.
part.
Man, you're like, fuck that kid.
Fuck this kid. Fuck your kid.
He just breaks them. He breaks them all in little spots. When the kid gets it, it just falls apart.
So it's actually hilarious that of all the things, of all the nice new box figures that I threw away and did destroy,
That's the only thing you gave away.
the thing that actually went to someone else and got like sort of regifted were like some old Godzilla toys that they weren't beat to shit, but they were very well played with. Anyways, but apparently no one liked Shin Godzilla, which is hilarious. I think I liked it, but there's already talk that stalled the Godzilla franchise again because it didn't hit like. Well, then again, I don't know if anyone knows this. King Kong versus Godzilla is like it's supposed to be the last movie in that franchise too. Like I don't know what's happening to like all these big expanded universe type things, but not so much because King Kong Godzilla did bad, but because Godzilla King of Monsters did bad. So they pretty much were like, yeah, we're killing the Monsterverse or whatever they called it. But they
Daniel,
said that years ago. Yes.
I'm gonna do it again. It's just Kong versus Godzilla.
He's not a king anymore. They took away my boy's crown. They took away my boy. It's actually funny because now that you say that, I remember the Kong movie itself.
It's just Kong.
It's called Kong. Yeah, Skull Island, or what the fuck it's called. But yeah, they did take away my boy's crown. He's a fucking
You
king
think
to
they,
me. He's a king,
man?
bro.
You think they? Maybe do you think? Man, I bet you someone made a porn parody called it Dom.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I mean, like, it's hilarious because somebody mentioned like the Eva porn up there, but I think my very first porn, JV, mind you, my very first porn parody I ever saw, was an Evangelion porn. And I don't even, to be fair, I'm not sure if you would call it a porn parody because I'm pretty sure it was just meant to be like, fuck this girl in
Just
in
you
an
in
Oscar
costume in a
cosplay. Yeah,
costume.
cosplay.
I think
So
my first hentais were like pictures were of of Asuka.
Yeah, this turned to fat material here. But anyways,
Okay.
it's funny
Okay. On
because
their next topic,
no,
or
we'll
continue.
come back to overrated anime in a second, but we want to talk about Cowboy Bebop a bit because that's the they revealed the upcoming Cowboy Bebop Netflix adaptation, the live action one, which by the way, I know was going to be a TV show. I mean, I knew it was going to be a TV show before, but when they showed it, for some reason, I feel that this production quality. By the way, I mean, I think I say it's good, not that it's bad, but I think this production quality feels race. I can't speak today. I'm saying all my words incorrectly. Feels wasted on a TV show. I feel like it should have been a really good movie. That said, we actually we actually interviewed the director from the Cowboy Bebop anime. I can't remember who the fuck that guy's name is, but he was doing something else. But he was at Fanime.
I believe it's
And
Shinichiro Watanabe.
yes. Oh wait, is that who it is?
It's either Shinichi or Shinichiro. I can't remember which one.
Something like that. I mean, it sounds very familiar. I'm not gonna lie that I did not write the questions for that. Anyways,
Yeah,
we
it's
interviewed him.
Shinichiro Watanabe.
Shinichiro Watanabe.
Shinichi Watanabe is the guy who directed Excel Saga.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, I know who that is too. But yes, it was Shinichiro Watanabe. He was at Fanime. He's obviously directed many other things since, and he was actually there to promote something else. And we actually didn't ask this question during the interview. When we were done, because this was shortly after they had just announced the. By the way, that took forever to release, but they had announced the adaptation like fucking 5+ years ago. And at the time, I don't know if you guys remember, there was this rumor that they were gonna change the dog species of Ain to something else. To like, that was going around the internet all over the place. Like, oh, they're changing it from a corgi to something else. And in retrospect, I don't know why that rumor went. Honestly, I don't think it was a rumor. I think that they were going to do it. They kind of busted the Sonic, and they saw the backlash, and they were all like, "No, we were never going to do that." You know, I'm like, that's kind of sus. But anyways, I remember I asked the director as we were packing up the cameras. I'm like, "Oh, by the still talking to like Tiffany, whoever the fuck was doing the translation." I was like, "Oh, by the way, have you heard about the new Netflix adaptation to Cowboy Bebop?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I heard about it." And I'm like, "Did you hear that they're changing the dog Ain? They're changing Ain from a corgi to something else." And he's all like, "Wait." He's like, I know I'm not. He's obviously he has nothing to do with the Netflix show. He's all like, he was really upset. I probably ruined his day. Like he was so upset. He was so upset, and it's so funny that like. Yeah, and whenever I would see news about the Cowboy Bebop adaptation, I remember that Fanime when I probably got.
Was his face? Did he have? Was he upset? Like, did he have?
No,
What's the
like
look on?
most of the interview, because it was a. I don't want to say it was a boring interview, but it was a very by the numbers interview.
Like,
because we're not interviewing a musician or somebody who's like has a big personality. We're interviewing a director, somebody behind the scenes, so it's kind of low key. But when we started mentioning that, he literally was like he looked to his translator when Tiffany was done talking, and he's all like, and Tiffany's like, "Are you sure?"
He literally looked over to his guy. He's like, "The fuck?
Yeah,
the fuck?"
And like,
you hear this shit?
It was so funny, and also it's worth mentioning that when we were all done, he did ask us to not include that, and I'm like, it's fine, we weren't recording anyway anymore. But he did make it a point to mention that like I'm not involved with it. He's like, but that's ridiculous. They shouldn't be doing that. Like they shouldn't be messing with our work like that. And those like pretty much exact words.
Damn.
I probably shouldn't have said any of this now that I look back.
Yeah,
on it.
probably. And Manuel.
Yes.
To give you a reason why it took so long, like I think it was in either early 2019 or like early mid, John Cho got injured and he had to take like a year off of production, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh, okay. So
I know this because I had a cousin working on part of it, and he was like,
Oh, you did mention that actually.
Yeah.
You mentioned it in passage. You had somebody working at the Cowboy Bebop show, so he got hit, the show got hit by the old 1-2. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
there
having
you
your
go.
main star hurt himself and be unable to record for like a year.
No, because I was like, I thought it was like, and this happens all the time, that it was one of the many projects that got like quietly canceled. Um, like, are we ever gonna see that Super Mario Brothers movie? Like, who knows? But then again, I think that got recent production updates. Then again, I kept saying that about Toxic Avenger, and here I fucking am and eat my hat soon.
Yes, still
But
waiting for that.
But like, similarly, I don't know if I know this is not similar because it wasn't Netflix. It was like a big budget James Cameron bullshit. But remember when I don't know if you guys were fans of anime for this long, but they've been talking about Battle Angel Alita becoming a movie since like the 90s. Like when the manga, I wish I still had it. I sold the book off. The manga version, I mean the version of the manga I have is from like the late 90s of Alita Battle Angel, what the fuck it's called. I forget what order those terms go in. Literally says on the front cover, like soon to be a major motion picture adaptation, something like that. And I'm like, it took like 20 years, and then James Cameron didn't even direct it. So I just thought that was going to be the case with Cowboy Bebop, that it was either never going to happen or be down the road. By the way, I want to, just in case anyone's wondering, I don't think Cowboy Bebop's overrated. I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, like
And
I never got to watch it. Like a buddy of mine doesn't like it and thinks that it's overrated, but I was like, he said go ahead and watch it, and I was like, all right, cool. I've just never. I guess that's our next watch, Leslie.
Yeah, I'd
Good.
say watch as much of it
Right.
in one sitting as you can, because I
Mhm.
basically did that with my school's anime club, and I enjoyed it much more than I
Uh-huh.
did watching it like piece by piece, because there are little smaller connections that you'll see that are might be a little difficult if you watch in like too much separated chunks.
Oh, and like too much. Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Like there are
Yeah,
little
because
Unlike a
items of
lot of
people who
anime,
pop up.
it is very episodic though.
Yeah, it's just that there are like little items that get shown from time to time. That's oh hey, these are the chocolates from that episode or something, or hey, it's that doctor who's back from an earlier episode kind of thing.
Sorry, reading some of the chat.
then Leslie over here talking shit.
He needs breaks. Damn.
Leslie can sit here for a whole 12 hours and watch it.
I
Me, I'm
won't.
just like, all right, first few 4 hours, I'm cool. I need to go like take a break and do something.
I mentioned earlier that a lot of anime can't stick the landing when it comes. By the way, that's the term I was trying to think of earlier and I could not. That a lot of anime can't stick the landing for like when it comes to endings. They really can't. I don't know what it is with like anime in general, manga too. It's just like, does Japan not know how to write an ending? And I mean that like I mean that in a non-racist way, because like even like if you don't know this, the very first novel is A Tale of Genji, and that novel also doesn't have an ending. But
Oh,
so
don't
like
remind me.
they've been doing it since like literal like media has began. But Cowboy Bebop has a very, I won't spoil it, but it has a very, is an ending that leaves a lot of questions unanswered. And there's a movie
Mm.
called Knocking on Heaven's Door, which I also saw in theaters, by the way. But I went
Did
to go
it
see
not
that.
end well too?
Oh no. The thing is, and this isn't a spoiler. But the movie is not a continuation of the show. Like I went to it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna find out what happened to the characters because that was a fucked up ass cliffhanger you left us on.
Keep on
No.
talking. I need to go open my window.
Oh, the movie is just like another. It's a very well written, well produced one, but it's just another episode of the show basically. And I think it actually canonically takes place between. I mean, I don't know anymore, but
I
it
think
takes
it's
place
like
between two episodes.
23 and 24 or something like that, or
Yeah,
22 and 23.
yeah, like it canonically has a place within the show
Yeah.
too. And so basically, it's just another episodic thing, and it really upset me though. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. We don't find out, and I don't know if the manga explains shit because I know there is a manga I've never read, which I did have, and I think I sold that book off actually like not that long ago. But yeah, I've never read it. I don't know if anything explains it more, but from what I understand, no, it doesn't. So we all get that
Mm.
fucked up ending. So be prepared for that, Warren. It's gonna have not a bad
I like-
ending. It's gonna have just a fucking. You can't end it here,
Or-
guys. This is not an ending.
Okay,
Well, I feel like it was a
like
one that went for its kind of influences. Like I know it's not based on the ending of Taxi Driver, but it has so many things where I thought, oh hey, this is just the ending of
Oh my
Taxi Driver,
God.
where he goes in, starts shooting the place up, and then you see him what you think is dead, and then he ends up living.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
huh. That's interesting.
Because the funny thing about Taxi Driver, for those who don't know, Taxi Driver is also one of those movies. Like, I mean, like I know we're talking about anime shows too. Like Evangelion is on a movie. Well, technically, they are movies now that we're talking about. But Taxi Driver also is heavily influenced Joker. Uh, and as soon as you said
Uh-oh.
Taxi Driver, I was like, oh god, another. And I know, I actually knew this already.
Man, it's like another one of those.
I know it's a different movie that inspired it, but it just reminded me of Taxi Driver. And I know there's film noir influence in it.
I think there's a scene by scene thing for Taxi Driver. There are some other movie like that. Anyways, if you want to see a nice like thing that's influenced by something else, which is kind of weirdly not related to each other, Bubblegum Crisis, which by the way is a show I like, not the 2040 TV show,
Not 20.
I actually
the
don't
original.
like 2040. 2040's, but the original Bubblegum Crisis OVAs, the very first episode opens with the scene where like one of the main characters, Pris, she has a band called Pris and the Replicants, which by the way is a Blade Runner reference, but that's not what I'm mentioning. But they do this whole scene where they're performing, and then it's being juxtaposed with like the cops fighting this like battle off on the side. That whole scene is almost a shot by shot like steal from the opening for Streets of Fire, this really amazing movie from the 80s that nobody knows of but me, basically, that stars Diane Lane.
Streets of Fire.
Yeah, Diane Lane, who she's the girl on stage, and Diane Lane, I think it's who is she? She's someone in the MCU. But then like the main villain in that movie is Willem Dafoe, who's Green Goblin.
Oh shit, Willem Dafoe is fucking young AF.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe's a baby in that movie. He's like a Willem Dafoe. He's like Willem Dafoe always looked like perpetually old, like not old, but he always looked like older than he ever was.
And he looked evil for some reason.
Yeah.
Like he looked evil as fuck.
Well, he looked like.
Well, there's a reason he's not William
evil.
DeFriend.
I mean this with all love and respect, but that fucker looks like a Green Goblin. Like, I would probably call him Green Goblin as a homie. Like, that'd be his nickname. Hey, what's up, Green Goblin? He's like, how'd you know? It's like, wait, what? You're actually the Green Goblin? I'm just calling you that because you look like that.
But he had the cheekbones, though.
He does. He has the evil cheekbones. By the way, fuck the Alfred motherfucker. I don't know what the hell his name was. Fuck
Alfred
Green
Molina?
Goblin's Alfred guy, who did not tell.
Oh, the butler.
Yeah, who did not tell his son about like how his father like basically like killed himself or whatever until like right before the end when he basically dies too. I can't remember.
It's just like
Also,
when it's most convenient, I'll tell you, buddy.
Diane Lane hasn't been in an MCU movie. She's Ma Kent in the DC movies.
Oh, close enough. I offended somebody by saying
And also,
that.
I think Raimi has said that the butler that tells James Franco's character, or Harry Osborn and all that, is a figment of his imagination. Like, he knows that, he's just finally coming to terms with it.
Oh, I didn't
You can believe that as much as you want. It came out after.
I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure that people besides me had to point that out. Like, why the fuck did that fucking Alfred too? I know butler guy, Goblin Butler. Why did he not tell homeboy like, yeah, your dad actually wasn't wasn't murdered by Spider-Man? What the fuck lie he believed for like all that
killed
time?
himself, buddy. He murked himself. That's nothing you should be laughing at, but he did kill himself.
They dropped the new Spider-Man trailer. I
watched it.
No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Close enough. I'm getting every title wrong so far. That's my thing apparently. No Way Home. And isn't Green Goblin in it? Isn't Green Goblin an octopus? Doc Ock?
Doc Ock, Electro, probably Sandman and Lizard too.
Wait, Sandman is in like the wait, there's no new Sandman, the old Sandman. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen the first one. What's the first one called?
Homecoming?
Oh.
There you go. I haven't seen that one yet. I've only seen
They have the Sinister Six in here?
Basically, it looks like.
Home. Yeah. Oh, Sinister Six!
Basically
oh my
consisting
God,
of alternate universe versions of all of them.
Yeah.
So it'll be like Spider-Man 1's Green Goblin, Spider-Man 2,
Alfred
Doc Ock,
Molina.
Amazing Spider-Man 2's
Electro.
Oh.
Antichrist is a fucked up movie, by the way. Oh my God, Wesley.
What
Yeah. It's a good movie though.
Yeah.
It's a crazy ass movie though. But
we've got
anyways,
10 minutes, so maybe we should start wrapping up.
Well, let's finish
Oh,
this.
we didn't. Man, we only went Evangelion. We didn't go anywhere else. Like,
Hold on.
I don't know what else.
I want to rap
Because we
more about
didn't.
the trailer. The trailer.
This guy.
No,
Okay.
Green Goblin. I just wanted. Oh shit! I lost my fucking train
All
of
right.
thought already. All I know is
Okay,
that
what
like,
about the Green Goblin?
something. You know what's that dance that you know, the Peter Parker dance when he comes out, he's doing the dance.
Yeah,
And then
in Spider-Man 3.
he does a stay in a live strut. Which by the way pisses me off because I know so many people who think that's from Spider-Man 3 and don't know anything about Saturday Night Fever. And I'm like, kids these
There you go,
days.
Manuel.
Well, and it's funny because I'm so not old enough to really know Saturday Night Fever on my own. There you go. That's the thing.
He's a.
Oh man. I actually when I bought my PS3, it was a launch model, and it was one of the PS3s. First of all, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this. The PS3 actually had the Spider-Man font and everything when it first came out, but it was one of the launch models that came with Spider-Man 3. And I don't think it came with the game; it just came with the movie for some reason.
Oh, you didn't get the one that came with Ricky Bobby?
Huh? Ricky Bobby?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure another one of the pack-in Blu-ray was Talladega Nights.
It could have been actually, because I think it did come with. See, the thing is, in my mind, I know it came with 2 discs. I know that one of them was not a game, so it probably was the other movie. But I just remember watching the fuck out of Spider-Man 3 because I was like, it was like 15 years ago. I was kind of obsessed with the Blu-ray player, and I was like, oh shit, it plays Blu-rays. Look how high def this is, kind of thing.
And then also, and I think the first gen also was backwards compatible too.
Yeah, mine's the kind that opened up and it had all the slots for the SD cards that don't exist anymore. Like, you know, like the like that fat one that's like this big. It's like,
yeah, so you flip it up.
Like, what kind of SD card was that? Yeah. Anyways, there's nothing SD about that. Actually, does SD stand for super deformed or stand for something else in that definition?
I'll look it up. I know it doesn't stand for super deformed.
Super deformed is what it stands for, like in
Yes, I know.
In
anime and stuff,
yeah. By the way, real fast, I want to rapid fire some of them. We don't talk about all of them. Some other anime I thought were overrated. Actually, I'll put the list real fast. I did write them down on my notes. What else is there?
SD stands for secure
you
digital.
say like Dragon Ball Z, but
no, I don't want to say. I don't want to. I actually do have Dragon Ball Z on this list, but I want to point out that I actually love Dragon Ball, and I love Dragon Ball GT. I know that's a controversial opinion, but
you get the fuck that one fucking sucked. You get the fuck.
He likes
out
Dragon Ball
like
Evolution.
Dragon
His
Ball
opinion
Z.
no longer counts.
Exactly.
Wait, you don't like?
And I also have on my notes that I don't like. Well, the problem with Z is, and it's funny because that's basically what they did when they did was it called Kai, the one where they edited it down?
Yeah.
But because it was funny, cause, like it honestly felt like, and it's pretty much what it was because they were getting ahead of the manga. It felt like I could have taken the show and just like re-edited it into like, you know, make it move, because there were so many parts. I don't think anyone really saw original Dragon Ball Z anymore. But there were so many parts
I did.
where it's not even like it's not even a joke. Like they're literally powering up for 30 minutes and nothing's happening.
It took hella long.
And there's all such inner dialogues, all like it's literally that for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god! And it cuts commercial for watching on TV. And it's like, what the fuck was that? What did I just watch? Why did they animate that? You know?
He's building suspense, okay?
I also wanted to point out anything by Rumiko Takahashi, who does
Ranma Inuyasha.
Yes, who does Ranma Inuyasha, Maison Ikoku for a really random one. It's actually one of my favorite mangas, because everything she writes never goes anywhere. Especially Inuyasha, it's a perfect example. Everyone likes to compare.
It's meant to go on forever.
But people like to compare Inuyasha to like Bleach and to like Naruto because those existed around the same time back in the day. But no, I actually don't like Naruto, and I actually prefer Inuyasha over Naruto. But Naruto at least moved, like to plot, you know, it moved its story along. Inuyasha just like was the epitome of just like nothing happens for 7 seasons until like the end when they decide, okay, it's over now, and even then nothing happened. Ocean dub, Funimation. I actually prefer the Ocean dub over Funimation, by the way. I grew up on the Ocean dub. And I think that's about it. I never seen Brotherhood. I hear Brotherhood is
tight.
I hear Brotherhood is better, but cool. I I used to hear
It's cool.
so much about Full Metal Alchemist when I was growing up that I finally went to go watch it, and I'll admit that I fucked up and watched the original because everybody I ever tell the story to always says you should have watched Brotherhood. My bad. So I watched the original, and it was I thought it was terrible. But
No,
also
Brotherhood is tight.
this
Brotherhood
is
is
the
tight.
one time, and I almost don't want to say this anymore because of what I stupidly did earlier. But this is the one time that I'll ever say this. Actually, there's 2 times, but I'll never talk about Final Fantasy Unlimited. But Final Fantasy Unlimited was the Final Fantasy anime, the TV anime that came out around the early 2000s. That one and Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know about Brotherhood because I haven't seen it. I don't know if it shares the voice cast. But Full Metal Alchemist was the first anime and still the only anime besides Final Fantasy Unlimited that I ever watched that I think the dub is one of the most atrocious things. Like I cannot watch it in the dub. It makes me like cringe and laugh and everything wrong. Like there's whoever the fuck plays the brother, like not whoever the fuck plays Elric is
Wait, the older one or the younger one?
The last okay,
is,
yeah,
is
this
one,
is the one in the
Vic? Is one of them Vic? I just realized that.
Yes, Ed is Vic.
yes, Edward, yeah, Ed is Vic.
And whoever plays the other one too, they're both fucking annoying. I can't stand them. And I swear to God, I did not know that it was Vic. Okay, I knew it was Vic in the back of my mind, but I definitely didn't know that when I watched it. So I just find that ironic.
Aaron Dismuke was like 12 when he recorded that. He was actually of age with Alphonse.
Well, it's actually hilarious. It's actually hilarious you say that because that's my other problem with Final Fantasy Unlimited. Child actors are notoriously bad at anything, and that just is the way things are. Child voice actors are almost impossible to find good ones. It's almost impossible to find good ones, and it's just fucking a cringe to sit through. I just can't fucking watch it. It's like, what is this? What the fuck is this? It's like
the dub for Brotherhood was pretty good. I liked it.
Once again, I've not watched Brotherhood, so for all I know,
I don't know how the other one is, but Brotherhood is alright.
Though Dismuke,
Full Metal Alchemist is the only one that I'll ever say that about.
Yeah, but Aaron Dismuke couldn't come back to play Alphonse for that because his voice had dropped. So
thank God!
He got replaced by, I think, an older woman.
Oh, so it's a different kid?
Yeah, he gets to play
an older woman.
Yeah, he gets to play young Hohenheim though, like the young version of their father.
Oh, that's weird.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's my only, and it's funny because both of those 2 shows I don't like have real kids in the cast. So like the only 2 ones that really bring, and mind you, they're not my only problem because I definitely fucking hated Edward in Full Metal Alchemist, but I just can't stand that. And that's pretty much it in my personal opinions on that thing. Oh, actually one last one, and this might be get Manuel canceled. I hate Samurai Champloo. And that's one that was huge. If you were an anime fan around 2006, whenever the fuck that was released, that's all anyone talked about.
Champloo.
I think because it was a U.S. Japanese co-production, sorta. Because I think wasn't Samuel L. Jackson?
No, that's Afro Samurai.
Oh my God, is that racist to me getting them confused? Was that racist to me getting them confused?
No, it's not race.
Well, they both came out at the same time, and they both had like the hip hop elements to it, and that's not a racist thing. They literally both were like, I think Samurai Champloo is the one that has the new Jabez music, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna rant about the right thing. So the thing that also bothers
about
me.
The right thing, this guy.
Oh, by the way, rest in peace, Nujabes, who I think passed away not too long after.
Rest in peace.
Samurai Champloo production.
Like in 2013, I think.
Yeah, but like
it's been a while.
Pretty much the only thing I honestly feel that if it wasn't like his involvement in it,
2010,
nobody would still be talking about it. And honestly, nobody really does. But when they do, it's only because they bring him up. They bring it up because of the new job as like the music thing.
Wait, we're still talking Shampoo, right?
Overrated.
But we're talking Shampoo, right? Not Afro Samurai.
Shampoo, yeah.
Yeah.
I only got it confused with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I really like Shampoo. Right? It's another Watanabe work, and it's really good. Like his style, really funny. I like Samurai stories too.
Again?
Yes,
that's Cowboy Bebop guy.
Yes. If there's like an anime that's mixing something with Western like movies and pop culture, it's probably from him.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's actually funny because I kind of consider the whole like the music. The music is not similar at all, but like the way like Cowboy Bebop has like a very unique soundtrack for anime that is. It's definitely very similar to the unique soundtrack that Shampoo has. By the way, I just don't like Samurai Champloo's music because it's not my genre. But unlike Bebop, which I think had a good show to go with it, Shampoo I think was just all style because it had like this very unique art style, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it's very unique, but it's like it was writing on the style and the fucking music, and I feel like it didn't deliver anywhere else. That could just be me, but I think it is just me because apparently there's some hardcore Nujabes fans that will just like tear me to pieces. But then again, I just said that was the best part, so I don't know.
I mean, you don't like New Job? New Job is fucking tight, yo. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're at 6:30 or 7:30.
3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Okay, let's start wrapping up.
Anyway, wrap it up. We wrap it up like a condom on prom. What am I saying? Who wraps up a condom?
That works.
Yeah, it actually doesn't work.
It's a metaphor. Okay.
If I would have said wrap it up like a penis on condom, I said a penis on condom night. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I was gonna
about to get himself killed.
I was gonna make a joke earlier because YouTube has been getting on our asses a lot, especially on the FAPs, but doesn't matter, they don't monetize those anyway. But because you can't curse, and you're not supposed to curse in the first 30 seconds of a video anymore, which is hilarious because basically YouTube admitting that most people only watch the first 30 seconds of any video. But like that's the curse. Yeah, you're not supposed to curse in it. So it's a running joke for a lot of like longer form videos to wait 30 seconds and then just say like fuck, damn, shit, damn, whatever the fuck. Also, apparently the CUNT word is like really, really no. Which I don't.
You say with the 2 O's?
No, I don't use it anyway. I'm not saying don't take away my word. I just find that hilarious because how does UK YouTube like deal with that? Because I mentioned in the past that we had Terry on. We had Terry on, and he shocked the fuck out of all of us because he said that all the time. He's like, yeah, I was hanging out with my friends, and I'm like, hey, you CUNT, and I'm like, well, like, whoa, like we don't say that word around here, bro.
It's just an America thing.
Oh yeah, I just find that funny. It's like if I mark their videos from the UK, can we say that all we want now? But anyways, I'll VPN this shit when I upload. I'm just kidding. Oh, I bit my tongue. I bit my tongue.
I thought that we were gonna have more on the list.
We were. We spent too long going on about Shampoo, and I'm not gonna lie, we also spent
Evangelion.
Too long, the first 30 minutes.
Evangelion.
Oh, I said Shampoo.
And then Star Wars.
Yeah, I spent too long talking, which I did bring up again though, so it tied in. What's the chat saying? Manuel got a little short with Edward. Boomer racist Manuel. Oh, because I mentioned the.
How about stocking and panties?
Panty and stocking with garter belt.
Or panties? Sorry, I don't fucking know. Is that? I've never watched it, so.
No.
Studio Gainax, the creators will admit that they came up with it while they were drunk. It is crazy. It is awesome.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I mean, I respect that when people are just like, we're just gonna make some shit and just make it and do it. When some people are just like, we're gonna make some shit, make it so deep, and then everyone's just like, yeah.
If we ever come back,
like, yeah.
If we ever come back and talk about anime that deserve their huge reputation, I just want to leave on a positive before we really wrap up. I had it on my list that I wanted to mention that I think Sailor Moon is worthy of all of its repetitions about like being one of the best. It tops most lists, So does Evangelion, but fuck people who write these lists sometimes. But I'm like that one deserves it. I never watched a bad Sailor Moon anything, and I have a lot of Sailor Moon merchandise. But anyways, Sailor Moon. What the fuck's that meme I love where fucking Tuxedo Mask is leaving, and it's all like my work here is done, but you didn't.
He did nothing.
Yes, that's me in the show. Anyways, Jupiter equals.
He's there to show up. He's just there to show up. That's all. Support. That's support. Yeah, you can do it.
If I had to pick a favorite Sailor Scout, by the way, it would be Venus. Sailor V. By the way, I also love the way V is pronounced in Japanese, usually when it's by itself, because I guess you don't say the letter V. It's like Vui. So yeah, that's not even a V thing. I mean, that's like the way V is pronounced in Japan. Weird. You say Vui. Even when you're saying the alphabet, it's like, T-U Vui. I have no idea why that is.
They didn't really have the V sound until...
Yeah, it's a katakana thing.
Yeah. It's one of those like newer sounds that they've kind of had to adapt into the language.
So anyways, tomorrow Ward and I are with Snacks. We're going to be playing Wild Arms, and we're going to finish that shit.
That's it. Wait, is Snacks going to show up, though?
Yeah, I talked to him about it already. He's gonna show
Oh,
up
okay.
and we're gonna finish it.
See, there's snacks.
It's funny because part of me was like, we're gonna finish it for sure, like as if we're gonna have a long episode. But I kind of read ahead a little. By the way, Warren, I'm telling you now because I'm gonna forget this tomorrow. I looked into it earlier this morning. We saved it on a quick save because we were in front of a 5-switch puzzle or multiple switch puzzle.
Oh yeah, remember we went to that puzzle? And we just like nope.
Yeah, we
we're
noped
done.
out because we were gonna nope out earlier, but we kept going, and then we saw the puzzle. We're like, no, my brain is not ready for this for more puzzles, so we just stopped. But yeah, we're in front of a puzzle, and I did read ahead. We should be able to finish it with the one episode. It might be long because of stupid cutscenes, but we're finishing it, and then we're never gonna speak of Wild Arms again.
Yeah, bye Wild Arms.
It's
something shorter and more modern.
2 is tight. It's just the 1 is.
And when we talked about which game we should play, and we decided to start with 1, because I think it was my fault, because I'm like, I haven't played 1 since it came out, and that was a bad decision on my part. My bad.
Manuel let his nostalgia glasses blind him.
I take the L for that one. But anyways, on Friday we're playing. Well, we're still playing. On Friday we're playing Dungeons and Dragons on Drink Talk Roll. Do you know who's DMing, Warren? Because I actually don't know if you're DMing or.
No, we didn't talk about it. I mean, I'm finished. I'm pretty much finished with the dungeon. I'm just throwing in some stuff. I guess it's a surprise, but I'm pretty much ready. I just got to retcon a whole bunch of stuff for you guys. So.
That said, tomorrow. That said, there's no Drink Talk Learn. Excuse me, on Saturday. That'll be returning next week.
We get Saturday and Sunday off. Yes.
I know. I'm gonna get so shit faced on Saturday. I can't wait. And like I'm gonna.
Why not Friday?
I'm gonna take a bunch of shit to book off on Thursday, and I should have my money by Friday. They're gonna give me for it, and it's probably gonna be a ton of money, but I'm sure it's gonna be at least a couple hundred because I have a lot of like manga and shit like that. So I'm probably gonna
$1 million.
I mean, it'll probably be like 150 bucks. So I'm gonna go take that money and go eat like the biggest, steakiest steak I could find at a steak restaurant or something. I don't know. Clog up like
talking about my ass, Manuel?
Clog up my ass for like a few days. Anyways,
he's gonna destroy his bathroom again.
Next Tuesday we're coming back UPC. Hopefully Nyaru will be back. I had a topic and I forgot what it was.
I could finally stream again. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I do. I was gonna have a co-host on for next week, but I still want to have that Manuel Nyaru episode, like to get the vibe back going again after a break. Before we do that, but we'll see what happens. I forgot what we were talking about though. I had a whole topic lined up, but just tune into see our schedule next week. Join us on Discord. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Ed, Kenneth, and Joshua, our current patrons. Support us on patreon.com/A2JConnections. No joke. I mentioned this on on Drink Talk Learn or whatever thing that was. This is the time of year we have to like pay for the site. Most of the payment for the site, most of the payment for the site is coming from Patreon. So when I say you literally are supporting the site, you literally are paying for the site. It's almost equal. If we just get like another patron to like toss us a few more bucks a month, I think that will pay the site of the year. Throughout the for the whole year. But
I give Manuel my $5 a month.
Yeah, $5 a month. There you go. We support A2J forever. But shout out to Ed and John. Shout out to Ed who I made that funny story on Drink Talk Learn. I felt bad about that. I want to once again reiterate, I was not making fun of the guy for using a pull-out map. I just thought that was a funny time because that was the only time I ever experienced it. And I also don't want to offend our number one patron.
Dude, my dad still has a pull-out map. Yeah. I look in his glove compartment. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But it's only because we're going camping.
So
also, sometimes, but continue.
No, also if you're watching this, Ed, because I do know that Ed occasionally does. If he watches anything, he watches UPZ, and I think he watches it after the fact, like in the background. He's mentioned it before. I did mention our AOD story when you took me to that restaurant where you opened up a map to get there, just because I thought that was hilarious. Because it was my one time in my life that anyone ever used a physical map, and it was so recent. It was like in 2016. It wasn't in my youth.
Okay, that's hella.
Yeah, that wasn't a story from the 90s. Yeah, that wasn't a story from the 90s. Like I was that I was describing from when I was 12 and we went on a road trip. No, that was 2016. Anyways, thank you all for watching. It's been fun. Hopefully next time we talk about overrated animes, we won't get so focused and so sidetracked.
Bye, everybody.
I apologize to any voice actors I offended. Good night.
Bye. We'll see you all next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Whoa.